Yes, we are live now.
Welcome back to the third day of the 5-day faculty development program on building a startup ecosystem in academia. So welcome to the International Internship University IIU, and I'm thrilled to be your trainer and resource person for today's session on the topic, as I said, building a startup ecosystem in academia. Right? So good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all of you. This session is a golden opportunity for educators, counselors, parents, and students alike. I'm Dr. Subrata Chattopadhyay, and I'm a professor of Institute of Engineering and Management in Kolkata, in India. And I'm a professor of marketing and entrepreneurship. I'm really thankful for visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit Sarji, and IIU. And we are here to equip you with the skills and knowledge that will truly empower you. And our goal is to ensure that no one is deprived of education and skills, fostering a world fulfilled with capable individuals. So without further ado, let us kickstart the third day's session and explore the fascinating world of building an ecosystem of entrepreneurship in academia. So get ready to enrich your skills and broaden your horizons. So in my last 2 days, I talked about how you should undertake activities and how you can create an entrepreneurship ecosystem, how you can generate ideas. So today I'm going to share with you my screen, and we'll try to understand that how you can apply creativity and the business idea. So let us see and understand the trends that are there. So the start of a trend that lasts for a considerable period of time provides one of the greatest opportunities for starting a new venture. So you have to explore a particular trend which will last for a long period of time, and that is sustainable venture. So trends that will provide opportunities include green trend. So these are the trending things which are there. Clean energy trend, organic orientation trend, economic trend, social trend, health, and web trend. So these are the trends which are there as regards finding an opportunity from an idea. Now the question is that when we talk about ideas, which are the sources from which you can generate new ideas? So let us understand some of them. Firstly, from the consumers, from the people who are the end users and who consume the product. Informally monitor the potential ideas and needs, and formally arrange for consumers to express their opinions. So when you have the consumers expressing their opinion, you actually know that what are the problems that they are facing with the product or the service that they are using, and then think that how you can create a solution and also design it in such a way so that it can become a sustainable venture. So first is consumers, and next is existing products and services. So if you analyze the existing products and services, you can uncover the ways that how the offerings can be improved, which may result in a new product or service. So how you can improvise on the products and services that are there and which may result in a new product and service. Say, for example, if you're talking about a Zomato or a Swiggy, right? So it was actually, reaching the customer from the producer. That's what they do. If you are thinking about uh, Ola in India or Uber that is there worldwide, so it is basically, it has brought a radical change. So especially in the Indian context, we had the cab stands, and I think, in many other countries there were cab stands wherein cabs were available. But then what this app-based cab services did is that they changed the entire perception of a customer, that cabs are not the place where cab stands are there, but it is the place where customers do stand. So a radical 360-degree turnaround of the perception. So if you are studying any product or services of a company, you will find that there are gaps in the product, there are gaps in the services. So is there a possibility of an opportunity which can be explored from the product or the services that is already there? The next is, it can be about distribution channels. Say, for example, a particular product reaches the customer through different channel partners. Say, the manufacturer or the producer, the wholesaler, the distributor, the retailer, and then finally to the end user or the consumer. Now, if you can reduce on the channel or improvise on the channel so that you can reach the customers faster. And this is one of the reasons why many of the companies are there today on e-commerce. So you can eliminate the distribution channels and directly reach to the customers. Say, for example, there is a subway or an underground pathway wherein a company can actually have their products and services displayed. Now, a passerby customer maybe ordering directly from there, and that may be linked to the mobile phone, and the payment can be done, and the product can be directly delivered from the manufacturer or the producer directly to the customer. So what that does is that increases the ease by which the product would be delivered, and speedier, efficient, faster services are there to the customer. So you have to think that how will you decide on your channels. So channel members can help suggest and market new products. So that is another perspective also, wherein your channel members who are in direct touch with the different stakeholders, they can give you suggestions about new products and services which can actually enable the R&D, research and development, and help you get new products in the market. Government, the files of the patent office can suggest new product possibilities. The new product ideas can come in response to the government regulations. So as the government changes the regulations and the policies, based on that, new products may come. Like, say, for example, when demonetization happened in India, right? The payment gateways, they had made a lot of business, right? When there was a lockdown which was declared because of the pandemic, right? Now, there, the FMCG companies did a lot of business because they addressed the daily need of the customers. So new product ideas can come in response to the government regulations. Research and development is very, very important, and it is essential that every company today is doing research at every point of time. It's not a one time or a regular affair, but then you have to always keep in touch with the customers and understand the mindset of customers. So a formal endeavor connected with one's current employment and an informal lab in the basement or garage can also act to the research and development. Now, how do you generate new ideas and build up a startup ecosystem in your institution? First is focus group. What is a focus group? Focus group is comprising of 8 to 14 participants who have an open, in-depth discussion in a directive or non-directive manner. And it's an efficient idea of brainstorming, reverse brainstorming, and an excellent method for generating and screening ideas and concepts. The next is, as I said, brainstorming. So it allows people to be stimulated to greater creativity. Good ideas can emerge when brainstorming effort focuses on a specific product or a market area. But then there are words of caution. The first is there should not be any criticism. Freewheeling is encouraged. That means free flow of thoughts should be there. Quantity of ideas is desired and also quality. Combinations and improvements of ideas are encouraged. Brainwriting is another important perspective, which is that the participants write their ideas on special forms or cards and circulate within the group. So one participant writes one particular idea and then it is circulated to the rest of the members. So what happens is the ideas get assimilated and everyone can see each other's ideas. So what happens is it results in collaborative, cumulative generation of ideas of how to solve a problem. And these all can be done by academic institutions for the problems that you face in daily life, or the problems that you envisage and you see all around. Then comes problem inventory analysis. So consumers are provided with a list of problems and are asked to identify the products that have these problems. So the results can be carefully evaluated, as they may not actually reflect a new business opportunity. This is very interesting. So this is called the Edward de Bono's 6 thinking hats, which are basically feedback cards. Now, people are asked to don different hats. The blue hat is used to manage the thinking process. So the chairperson who organizes the other hats, that is yellow, black, green, red, and white. So chairperson is the one who has the blue hat. The white hat calls for information or facts known or needed. So the white hat actually gives feedback to the presenter about information which was included. And then you have the red hat, which signifies feelings and intuition. So depending on the presenter's capability, they don different hats. So the red hat actually gives feedback to the presenter about how you find the presentation. And then the green hat gives feedback about the suggestion for the next time. The black hat gives feedback to the presenter about something they need to pay attention to. And the yellow hat is basically for providing feedback to the presenter about something they did well. So you have different hats, so you can show the different hats so as to give your ideas or feedback, and the hats signify that what type of feedback you actually want to provide. Now, when you talk about competency building in entrepreneurship, it's basically about innovation, formation, and how do you create value. But then one has to understand that and question, does the design or does the product actually create value? So it starts with discovery, ideation, validation, persuasion, negotiation, adaptation, and leadership. So these are basically the salient features of entrepreneurial competencies. Okay. So the invention process, when you start with a particular product, first of all, you observe that which are the technologies that are already there. Are some of them redundant? Is there a scope for modification of an existing technology? Or are you wanting to bring some changes or disruptions in the technology process? So what you need to do is that you need to do an in-depth analysis of the market and the needs. And then you have to identify and analyze the parameters. So you identify the parameters, synthesize the parameters. So creative synthesis is required, and then you go for realization. So invention which meets the need. I'll go to innovation, but then, and before understanding what is innovation and the types of innovation, let me do something. Let me share with you a video, and this is an innovation which was famed at one point of time, but then it did miserably. I'm talking about Segway. So let us watch this video.
It does it by itself. This is a story about Segway. This is the world's first self-balancing human transport. All the knowledge that went into knowing how to walk is transferred to this machine. Upon its unveiling in 2001, the Segway human transporter's height was similar to today's height around Tesla, with the same message. This product is going to revolutionize transportation forever. I believe the Segway HT will do for walking what the calculator did for pen and pencil. To get there quicker, you'll go further anywhere people walk. Anywhere people walk. Segway was the Cayman solution to an old challenge. It's called the last mile. It's the inefficiency inherent in getting from the train station to your front door, from a bus stop to your desk at work. It's the leg of your daily journey where you have no choice but to walk. Segway was finally going to make the 6-million-year-old act of walking better. So why didn't it? What happened to the company some said was going to be bigger than the internet? I made some pretty bold predictions about Segway that were wrong. I said it'd be the fastest company to $1 billion in revenue ever. And of course, that was wrong. By 2007, Segway's personal transporters had only met a mere 1% of their original projected sales. Along with a hefty $5,000 price tag, sales of the Segway PT were hurt by yet another problem.
People looked at the Segway and it's like, oh, you're a geek.
Simply put, the Segway PT just wasn't cool.
The body of the British man who liked the Segway so much he bought the company was found, along with his machine, in this river near his home in northern England.
The owner of Segway, the company, dying on a Segway was a tragedy and a PR nightmare. Shortly afterwards, medical researchers noticed a growing trend. Severe Segway-related injuries were on the rise. After that, Segways were relegated to the realm of mall cops and tourists. The company's mission to change the future of transportation had failed. But when all hope was lost, Segway got another chance.
Now, Segway has been acquired by its Chinese rival, Ninebot.
Chinese scooter maker Ninebot bought the company.
The benefit to Segway immediately is it gives better access to the Chinese market.
Suddenly, Segway was an integral part of a newer movement in mobility, electric scooter sharing. It's a market that could reach nearly $30 billion by 2025. Segway's new parent company, Ninebot, is one of two leading scooter suppliers for growing companies like Lime and Bird that in turn are deploying them on city streets across the globe. But when you get down to it, Lime, Bird, and Ninebot are still trying to solve the same problem Segway was back in 2001. last mile is the problem. And half the world now lives in dense cities. And people spend, depending on who they are, between 90 and 95% of their energy getting around on foot. This one is set to at 12 miles an hour, which is 4 times walking speed. So what used to take you a half an hour, take you 7, 8, 9 minutes.
The hope was that we would change the world. And now, you know, perhaps if the world has changed and it wasn't changed by us, that would have been okay. It's much less, I think, ultimately about who does it and more about the fact that it's been done.
Segway, if you look in the dictionary, says a smooth transition from one position or idea to another. And this is a nice way to go from one place to another, and it is an idea.
Well, that was the story of Segway, which was actually designed for a lot of success, but then it actually turned out to be a failure. So basically, it was an innovation, but then an innovation wherein even the owner and the founder lost his life and could not sustain the way that it was thought about. It was thought that it would be more disruptive than even the internet, but then could not fulfill the purpose. There has been modifications of the product, and people are using the products, but then the risks still remain. So when we talk about types of innovation, it can be breakthrough innovation. So breakthrough innovation is, you have fewest number of innovations in breakthrough innovation. It establishes the platform on which future innovations in an area are developed. And any breakthrough innovation should actually be protected by patents, trademarks, and copyrights. Then you can have a technological innovation, which occurs more frequently as compared to breakthrough innovation. Not at the same level of breakthrough innovations, but it offers advancements in the product or market area and needs to be protected. Just a minute. There's some problem with the screen. Yeah. I'll just share the next innovation. Just a minute, please. Please hang on. Yeah. So we were talking about innovations, and so breakthrough innovation. Then we were talking about the other technological innovations. So when we talk about products per se, right, and the different innovations, right, there can be continuous innovations, there can be dynamic innovations, and discontinuous innovations. So when you go about, designing a new product, you have to think about the consumer's viewpoint. And the continuum was actually proposed by Thomas Robertson about the disrupting influence that the use of the product has on established consumption patterns. Now, there is a difference between continuous innovation, which is least disrupting influence on the established consumption pattern. Then you have dynamically continuous innovations, which has some disrupting influence on the established consumption pattern, and discontinuous innovations, which involves the establishment of new consumption pattern and creation of previously unknown products. Now, distinction can be made between the new products and the new markets, and the situations with which a new technology and a new market are most complicated and pose high degree of risk. Now, you see, based on the market newness, markets can be classified as a new market or a strengthened market, or there can be a no market change. And also, when we talk about technology, there can be no technological change, or there can be a improved technology, or there can be a new technology. Now, if there is a no market change with an improved technology, you can bring about a reformation of the market. So basically what you are doing is you are changing the formula or the physical product to optimize the costs and quality. With no market change and with new technology coming in, what you are doing is you are replacing the existing product with a new one based on improved technology. So you will see the mobile phone companies, they always come up with newer technologies. So that is basically a replacing the existing product with a new one based on the improved technology. Electronics companies, laptop manufacturing companies, they also follow this. In a strengthened market with no technical change, you have to re-merchandise. That means you have to increase the sales to existing customers. And with improved technology in a strengthened market, you have to come up with improved products, utility to the customers. But with new technology in a strengthened market, you can have the life extension of a product because the market is strengthened and you are coming up with a new technology, so you can add similar products to the line and serve more customers based on the new technology. However, if your market is new and there is no technological change, then you can add new segments that can use the present product. With improved technology in a new market, you have to go for market extension. That is, you add new segments to modify your present products. New technology, new market, you go for diversification, wherein you add new markets with new products developed from the new technology. Now, this is total 5 forces that we talk about. When you want to do business, there will be external threats that I was talking about, which are uncontrollables. One is threat of new entry. Then competitive rivalry may be there. Then you have supplier power, threat of substitution, and buyer power. So these are basically the 5 forces that actually are threats to any new company as regards competitive rivalry. Now, let us understand that from idea as we move to opportunity, how do you recognize the opportunity? What is the model of opportunity recognition? One is the education. So you need to know about the type of business and the type of industry that you are venturing into. So you have to have prior knowledge of the markets and the customer problems. You need to have experience. When I talk about experience, you need to have personal experiences. You need to have work experience. And these two, that is your education and experience with your prior knowledge of markets and customer problems, will actually trigger entrepreneurial alertness. And if you have your networks, then you use your knowledge, your entrepreneurial alertness, and your network to generate outcomes and for successful opportunity recognition. So how do you do the product planning and development process? So when you come up with a new product or a service, you establish the evaluation criteria. How do you evaluate? So criteria should be established at each stage of the product planning and the development process. And you evaluate at each stage of the development process. It should be inclusive and it should be quantitative And the criteria and evaluation of the idea may be based on the factors like the market opportunity, competition, the marketing system, the financial factors, and the production factors. Now, this is about the product planning and development process. As you can understand, that the product undergoes the different stages. First is the ideation stage. So wherein you have an idea and then you evaluate the idea and then develop that into a concept. And then you develop that idea into the laboratory, you evaluate. And the next stage is the product development, wherein the pilot production run is there. See, at each stage, we are doing the evaluation in the ideation stage, in the concept stage, in the product development stage, in the test marketing stage. At each stage, the evaluation process is there. And in the test marketing stage, the semi-commercial plan trials are there, and you evaluate at each stage. So what happens is that you are evaluating at each stage of the product planning and the development process. And then comes the commercialization stage. So there you have a product life cycle. So you introduce the product after test marketing into the market. So that is introduction phase. And then as the sales grow with time, that is a growth phase. And then it reaches a peak wherein you have the maturity. And after that, there is a decline. So these are the stages of product planning and development. So I talked about the different stages. The idea stage is you have to have promising ideas which should be identified and impractical ones eliminated. Then you have the evaluation method. And next comes the concept stage, wherein the refined idea is tested to determine the consumer, the acceptance which can be measured through conversational interview. Then the product development stage, wherein consumer reaction to the product is determined. A consumer panel is given to the product or sample, and the preference is determined through the different methods, like you compare with the competitors, multiple brand comparisons, risk analysis, etc. And then you go for test marketing, wherein you actually increase the certainty of successful commercialization, and actual sales reflect consumer acceptance. So yesterday, I also discussed about the business model canvas. So once you have the ideation to the product, develop the concept, so then you need to actually develop the business model. So this is the business model canvas, wherein you need to ask yourself that who are those people who will help you in the business. So who are your key partners? How do you do it? What are the key activities? What do you do? What is your value proposition? Okay. And very importantly is that what do you need? Who are the key resources? So once you identify the key partners and the activities, then you go for the resources and generate value. And after that, you develop the distribution channels. So you have to understand that how do you reach the customers? Do you reach the customers directly, manufacturer to customer, as many companies like, say, Eureka Forbes or an Oriflame or an Amway does? So they reach directly to the customers. So the manufacturer directly to the customers, right? So how do you reach them? The distribution channels. How do you interact with the customer? So how do you build relationships with the customer? So the customer relationships. And the next is, who do you help? The customer segment. And of course, you need to understand what will your business idea and your business model cost. So what is the cost structure? And how much will you make? That is your revenue stream. So today we have discussed about business ideation, opportunity, and how idea leads to a concept, and then the opportunity that you have through the business idea, and then how do you evaluate the opportunity and gradually develop a business model. So tomorrow, which is the fourth day of the faculty development program, we will be discussing about more about the different theories of entrepreneurship that are there, right? And we'll be covering some of the theories, and we'll try to understand that how the entrepreneurship theories evolved over time, and what do the theories actually have to say as regards building an entrepreneur in you. So that's all for today. Thank you so much. I would like to thank once again International Internship University for the opportunity provided to me in running this faculty development program successfully. I would like to thank the founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit sir. I would like to thank Snigdha Kadam madam and Dr. Armina, who has been constantly supportive in all the days. Thank you so much. Bye.